All right, so today we're doing a brief comparison between the JBL Pulse 5 and the JBL Pulse 4. Overall, a lot of similarities, but also some key differences here and there, which we will cover, starting off with the size. So I don't know if you can tell, but the JBL Pulse 5 is slightly larger compared to the Pulse 4. Let me go ahead and give you a close-up, and you should be able to notice that it is ever so slightly larger. Another thing you'll notice is the loop on the back this time around. So you now have the option to hang the speaker or attach the speaker to something, whereas you didn't have that option before. You'll also notice that the logo is much larger this time around compared to the previous version. And then on the bottom of the speaker, you'll see that you now have RGB lighting effects surrounding the bass radiator. Now, one thing I actually prefer on the Pulse 4 compared to the Pulse 5 are the controls. So you can see the controls are located around the perimeter on the top of the speaker. So they're very easily accessible. So for example, if the speaker is just sitting on a flat surface like a table, if I want to adjust the volume or play and pause, I can easily access those controls. With the Pulse 5, it now has all of your controls on the back of the speaker, which obviously aren't as easily accessible. And not only that, if you notice, there's now no volume control and there's no play and pause button. So in order to do that, you have to do it from your Bluetooth device. When it comes to the Bluetooth connection, you are getting a more up-to-date connection with the Pulse 5, now having Bluetooth 5.3 compared to the Bluetooth 4.2 on the Pulse 4. However, in the Pulse 4's defense, it still gives you multi-point connection, which allows you to connect it to two devices at the exact same time. Now, the Pulse 4 is also waterproof with an IPX7 rating. However, this time around on the Pulse 5, it now has an IP67 rating, which means it's dust and waterproof. So if you're concerned about things like dust, sand, dirt, you now have a higher rating compared to the previous version. In terms of battery life, basically the same, roughly 12 hours on a single charge. And both speakers are Party Boost compatible, which means you can pair them with each other, or you can pair them with other JBL Party Boost speakers. Now, when it comes to sound quality, if sound is your #1 priority, I would actually recommend going for something like the JBL Charge 5. Not only is it cheaper, but overall, I feel like it has a better sound. So again, if sound is your #1 priority, I would recommend this guy right here. With the Pulse 5 and the Pulse 4, the main attraction is obviously the RGB lighting effects. And that's not to say that in terms of sound quality, they don't sound good. They definitely have really good clarity. They have solid bass, especially considering the size, and they give you a 360-degree sound effect. So it kind of projects sound in all directions. Now, if I had to pick between the two, I would give the slight advantage to the Pulse 5, and that's mainly because it has a 3-band EQ that you can access within the JBL app. So it allows you to tweak the sound. If you want a little bit more punchier bass, you can achieve that. You want to brighten up the treble and clarity, again, you can achieve that as well, whereas you don't have that option on the Pulse 4. When it comes to the lighting effects, one small difference you'll notice with the Pulse 5 is that inside the JBL app, you now have the option to control the speed or the tempo of the lighting effects. Another key difference when it comes to the Pulse 5 is the fact that you now have an ambient sound section. So you can use one or a combination of these 5 different sounds to help you relax or fall asleep. And you can even set a timer for the sounds to automatically shut off as soon as they're done. So if you wanted to turn the RGB lighting effects off and use this like a sound machine, you do have that option. Now let's go ahead and get into the sound comparison, and you guys let me know which one you think sounds the best down in the comments.